Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to properly engage our core, specifically our transverse abdominis or our deep core muscles. So these are muscles that wrap around our torso like a corset, helping to support your spine, posture, especially during pregnancy, postpartum, to help our recovery and stability. During pregnancy, our core is going to be stretched and weakened and disengaged just due to the nature of pregnancy. So we want to establish this early on so that postpartum comes around, we can reestablish that core connection. I think of it as back in college, I tore my ACL. After I had surgery, I could not contract my quad. It took months of rehab to reestablish that connection, that mind-body connection to that quad. It's the same thing during pregnancy. We're just not engaging our core just because it's being stretched and disengaged due to baby growing. So we want to reestablish that connection with our core, with our pelvic floor, and they go hand in hand. Let's get into a comfortable position. It can be lying on our back. Sometimes that tends to be the easiest with our knees bent, sitting tall, or standing. So we're going to take a slow, deep breath in through our rib cage. Make sure it's nice and wide, just like our diaphragmatic breathing. And then on the exhale. Notice on the exhale, we're already going to start to have a little bit of contraction. So let's try it again. This time we're going to exhale a little bit more, as much as we can. Exhale, and we already see and feel our core starting to contract. So we want to make our connection, to engage our core, is use the exhale where we're already contracting to then contract even further, properly engage. So think about gently drawing our belly button in and up your spine. So almost like you're zipping up a pair of jeans. You should feel a gentle tightening here. Our hip bones, right, our really bony hips here, we can come in a little bit and down, and we should feel that this is nice and loose, nice and bouncy. When we do make this engagement where we do our exhale and we engage our core, it should become tight. You shouldn't be able to push in that far. That we're not sucking in or holding our breath. We're just lightly going to engage those deep muscles while keeping our rib cage relaxed and us breathing naturally. So it's really key to continue to breathe. So this isn't an ab engagement where we're engaging so tight that we can't breathe while doing it. We want to maintain that. We should be able to talk. We should be able to move, whether we're doing a workout, lifting a baby, standing in line at the store, it doesn't matter. Reaching up, doesn't matter. We should be able to maintain a little bit of normalcy. This core engagement is a foundation for rebuilding our core strength safely and effectively, especially postpartum. When you figure this out and master this connection, every movement becomes easier and stronger and more supportive. So eventually, once we reestablish that core connection, it's not going to be a conscious effort, right? We're not going to have to sit here, inhale, exhale, engage our core, and do the exercise. It's going to be a natural thing that happens. We just want to be able to establish this core connection during pregnancy, before pregnancy, so that we can get to it quicker and start our recovery postpartum quicker. Once again, this is about control, not about clenching. It's going to be consistent, mindful practice, and it will help you recover in your core, function the way that it's meant to. With an inhale, exhale, pull that belly button in and up towards our spine. Notice my core is still engaged as I'm talking to you. Another thing you can think about is taking these hip bones and pulling them together. Really try to pull those together. It helps to kind of touch that area to make that mind-body connection. And that's kind of the best thing that I've thought of. Another thing we can think about, so our TVA, our transverse abdominis, is like a corset. So it wraps around here. We can think about tightening and pulling that corset together, or zipping up from our pubic bone here all the way to our sternum here. So inhale, and then exhale, slowly engage, bringing everything together and maintaining that. Notice my rib cage is coming down, engaging with that core. In connection with our pelvic floor. So a lot of times you don't have to think about what's happening with your pelvic floor. It happens naturally. But like I was saying with your core, it's all disengaged postpartum. So we want to be able to reconnect with that, reestablish the connection between our pelvic floor and our core. So doing this engagement here is It should be like a gradual wave. So it should start with our pelvic floor. When we exhale, that pelvic floor will naturally contract and rebound into its natural state. On the inhale, it's going to lengthen. You don't have to think about it. On the exhale, it gently lifts. So we want to pair this with our transverse abdominis contraction. It should be a wave. So the pelvic floor will contract, then the TVA, and then our obliques